Hi you guys, so I've just washed my face. My skin has absolutely nothing on it, and honestly, like, my face is dying right now. It's dying. It feels so dry. So the first thing we want to do is prep our skin. So first I start with the rose water. So once I've done that, I'm going to go and spray the B6 vitamin infused spray. And then I, add my moisturizer. I've been using an oil-free moisturizer. This is from Neutrogena. Honestly, this is a game changer. Previously I've been using a Pond's cream moisturizer, which I really love, but it took me about 3 months to realize that it was for dry skin. So then I'm going to add some primers, both by Urban Decay. One is the Urban Defense Complexion Primer, and this is an SPF primer. It's clear, I don't know if you'll be able to see that. There we go. I use this on my cheeks, and I only use about 2 pumps because my cheeks are a pretty large area. Not that much. Wouldn't even say, probably, no, it's close to a dime size. Not quite a dime size. Yeah, I'm gonna put it actually all over my face, because why not? We need sunscreen everywhere, right? Alright. And honestly, I only ever wear this when I go out during the day, which is not that often. And then I'm taking the Urban Decay De-Slick Complexion Primer and putting this only in my T-zone. This stuff literally, I don't know what it does. It prevents oil from popping up on my face. Like, I will still get oil, but probably after like 12 hours my face might get like a little oily, which is a big difference from 3 hours in, and I have to go and block my nose because it's super shiny and stuff is starting to reliquify. So with this, you only want to apply it in the areas where you have oil problems. So for me, that's like my T-zone. So my forehead, I put it into my brows to make sure my eyebrows don't come off. My nose and around my mouth. Those are the oiliest places on my face. And I only use 1 pump. It's about that much. Then I just spread it between my 2 fingers, kind of warm it up. I always start with my nose, since that's the oiliest place on my face. And then I just put the rest everywhere else. Forehead, around my mouth, and eyebrows. And now we are ready for our foundation. So I'm taking my Urban Decay Naked Skin One and Done foundation in the shade Medium Dark. So I use about 3 pumps of that, put it on the back of my hand, and then I just dab it onto my face. I just take whatever brush you're going to use for your foundation, or beauty blender if you want, and rub it in. When it falls in the wind, To highlight, I'm going to use the Urban Decay All Nighter Concealer in shades Medium Dark Neutral and Medium Neutral. In the wrong hands, and you're having fun. Why don't you show your friends? And you're having fun. What if it never ends? I'm lacking sincerity, but you don't care at all. Alright, now I'm going to take the shade Medium Dark and apply that to my forehead and down the bridge of my nose. Falling in love just a million times, breaking it off with the feeling on ice. She's as cold as December. Alright, and to contour, I'm taking the Urban Decay Naked Skin concealer in the shade Extra Deep, and I'm only using this to contour my face. And I'm just taking a Wet n Wild small stippling brush. And if you find that you've done too much, applied too much, I just take my beauty sponge and kind of go over it to help blend the colors together and to soften the edges of it. Running out that door, and you are nothing. And as I go inward into my face, I lighten the pressure on the brush to really help give it a seamless blend, because we're no longer trying to spread the product, we're trying to blend the product the closer into the center of your face you get. And then again with my beauty sponge. That seems really harsh, doesn't it? Alright, now for my nose, I'm taking my LA Girl Pro Concealer in the shade Toast, and I'm just going to contour my nose with it. You really want to use a little bit of product on here because it's in the center of your face, so it's going to draw like the most attention. So I start up here, kind of into my eyes, and then I bring it down. And I don't bring it all the way down like a lot of people do. Really contouring your nose, it takes a lot of like trial and error to really find the shape that you want. I've noticed I like the way my nose contour looks when I don't bring it all the way down, because that just doesn't work for me, or I haven't found a way for it to work for me. And then I contour this part of my nose, like the tip. So I just make like 2 lines for the nostrils where I have indentations, and then I contour across the bridge of my nose, this fleshy part. And then I just take an e.l.f. small stippling brush. Breaking it off with the feeling on myself. She's cold as December. And then I like to go over my finger, because sometimes the small stippling brush doesn't get, in order to prevent me from shoving it up my nose, it doesn't really like blend this out the way I want it to. Alright, so before I start applying powders, I like to go ahead and apply my eye primer. And that way things don't get cakey when I apply it. So the eye primer that I use is the Urban Decay Original Primer Potion. You are nothing, but you say you want it done. And I just sweep it on top into my brows. I only recommend sweeping it into your brows if you're actually going to apply brow products. If you're not, completely avoid that altogether. And then just under my brow. So here we have this, and I'm just going to take my beauty sponge again and blend it out. I also would not recommend applying any type of eyeshadow primer if you're not going to wear eye makeup. If I'm wearing eyeliner, I have to apply the eyeshadow primer just because my lids are so oily. But if I'm only wearing eyeliner, probably just keep it focused on the lid area so you're not spreading eyeshadow primer or wasting product really. Now we're going to do the other eye. Alright, so I use NYX banana powder in all the places where I contoured my, not contoured, highlighted my face. I don't bake. I just apply the product and call it a day. And really with this concealer, using that all-nighter concealer, it dries down matte, so it's not really necessary. I am just really paranoid because I have such oily skin where, you know, it's like second nature to powder down a cream. And then I'm taking my Sephora Matte Perfection Powder Foundation, and this is in the shade Neutral Toffee or Caramel, and I'm just going to apply that. Here's the shade. I'm going to apply this all over my face where I did not highlight. I like to apply this powder before I apply like bronzer and stuff, because to me I feel like it really helps everything blend and you don't have any like harsh lines. Yeah, you don't have any harsh lines when you do apply bronzer. Which, what I'm going to use to bronze up my face is the Black Radiance Beauty True Complexion Contour Palette in the shade Light to Medium. And really, I'm just taking these two shades. Are you gonna get darker? Here we go. I'm taking the Contour and Sculpt shades on a angled face brush, and I'm mixing those two together and just applying them where we applied contour.
Holding your shoes in your hands, running out that door.
And then sometimes if I'm a little too zealous, overzealous with the powder, I have to go back and like, with the same brush I use for the highlight, I have to go back and kind of like soften it a bit because I was too excited. And then for my nose, I use the matte bronzer in the shade Cool from Ulta Beauty. Obviously, I have Hit Pan on here. So, and I think this is my second one. And using a different brush, I'm using a concealer brush actually. And this one is from House of Beauty. I believe this is a concealer brush. Sephora has one. It's called a small concealer brush. Yeah. So we do that. And now I'm going to apply blush. I don't really like a lot of blush, so I use stuff that barely shows up on my face. And I kind of try to blend it in with my bronzer a bit, so it doesn't really look like I'm wearing blush. I just kind of look a little flushed.
Cigarette ash.
I'm going to apply NYX's Duochrome highlighter in the shade Snow Rose, which it really just look white here, but if you see the black, it has like a pink, light pink shift to it, and that's what really shows up. And I'm just applying this on a Real Techniques setting brush, with a Real Techniques setting brush. And I'm applying it to the tops of my cheekbone, down the side, just above my brows, on my forehead where the bronzer stops. And then at some point I will go through and connect my highlight on my face with a highlight on my brows. That way there's not like this weird line of demarcation. And then I'm taking it down the center of my nose.
Breaking it off, put the feeling on ice.
Go back in, blend stuff. Alright, so that is it for my face. Alright, so this is my finished makeup look, and the only thing left to do is to set my face. Setting your face does a few things actually. It helps kind of melt all of your powder products together so you don't seem cakey, and then it also helps keep your makeup in place so you don't sweat it off as easily. It doesn't transfer as easily if you have oily skin. It just really helps keep your makeup on. And the setting spray that I like to use is the Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray. And you just shake it up, hold it about this far away from your face. And it says on the container to spray it in an X and a T, X and a T formation. I just kind of spray it however. And again, I just really love spraying my face with stuff. It feels so refreshing. And yeah, this is the completed makeup look. Yeah. Yes. Thank you so much for watching.